This was the first time Sunny felt his true power as a Titan. His original body and the onyx mantle encasing it were both augmented by all 7 of his shadows, making him feel strong enough to crush entire mountains under his palms. His speed, his endurance, his resilience, all of him was empowered by the embrace of shadows, becoming titanic. The Lord of Shadows moved in the storm of blood like an omen of death, the gaze of his fierce mask remaining utterly indifferent, utterly cold, utterly devoid of mercy. But the demon was not without emotion. The sick bastard was enjoying the harrowing massacre. That thing could not be a human. It had to not be a human. Otherwise, there would be nothing sane left in the world. Standing up, Kama turned and looked around. All around him, the wounded soldiers were swaying as they rose from the ground. All that remained were the corpses of the slain nightmare creatures, and the blood painting the surface of dark grave red. Fear of meeting the Lord of Shadows on the day when that dreadful demon was not held back by the mercy of Lady Changes. Indifferent to pain and fear? What nonsense. I pride myself on being a coward, as one should. What's wrong with being a coward? Fear keeps people alive, while bravery gets them killed. As for pain, no thank you. I have been beaten, burned, crushed, drowned, cut, stabbed, pierced, bitten, chewed, and gutted enough times for several lifetimes already. You do know how one becomes a mythical hero, right? It's really easy. You just have to do something outlandish and then die. The death part is the key, actually. So I would rather not be a hero ever.
Sunny's brilliant emporium, cafe and memory boutique, and walked inside. A moment later, there was the sound of plates scattering on the floor. She froze, looking down in confusion. The enchanter was sprawled on the floor, staring at her with a stunned expression. He seemed to be a very clumsy person, to have tripped on his own feet like that. No coordination whatsoever. A person like that would definitely not last long on the battlefield, which was fine. Not everyone was born for combat. They stared at each other silently for a few moments, and then the young man jumped to his feet, dusting off his clothes in embarrassment. Having done so, he smiled at her as if nothing had happened. Welcome to the brilliant emporium. Nephis was momentarily stumped. When Cassie had told her about a talented master capable of forging powerful memories, she had imagined an older man, sharp and austere, like most smiths of valor were. What she had not expected was that the shopkeeper would be so young, delicate, and good-looking. Nephis was used to being in the company of extremely attractive people, of course, and yet the proprietor of the brilliant emporium stood out even among them, most saints included. He was not very tall, with a slender build and delicate features. His skin was smooth and white, like flawless marble, while his onyx eyes were like darkly glistening gems. His raven black hair was carelessly gathered in a knot, and there was a subtle sense of calm confidence to him, one that seemed understated, but almost demanded attention. He was like an elegant porcelain doll, dressed in fine black silk. It's getting late, and I need to return to the castle. We will be in touch. Oh, and thank you for the cake, Master Sunless. It was delicious. He seemed a little startled. It was? All right. I'll be waiting then. Good night, Lady Nephis. You
It was all his fault, of course. And really, Sonny had no one but himself to blame. Had he not suggested creating a soul-bound memory for Nephis on the spur of the moment, there would have been no need for them to interact, let alone do so while hiding the real reason from Clan Valor. The Lord of Shadows would have continued to play his role as her battle partner, while the humble shopkeeper would have continued living his mostly peaceful life in solitude. But now, I'm going to be a kept man. Gods, why am I so handsome? Sonny, Nephis, Cassie, and the Firekeepers were left behind in tense silence. The coldness left behind by the Lord of Shadows was slow to dissipate. I admire you, Sir Sunless. You truly are a brave man. I would have never dared to talk back to that devil. Sonny coughed. How come I am both pleased with and offended by their nonsense? Ah, yes. I'll try not to next time.
Nephis was reeling. She couldn't help but look at Master Sunless. No, Saint Sunless. No, was that even his real name? She couldn't help but look at the charming enchanter and mentally compare him to the sinister, cold, overbearing Lord of Shadows. If there was something in common between the two of them, it was that both of them seemed to be able to stir her emotions. But still, how could the two of them be the same person? How could the gentle Master Sunless have cut down great nightmare creatures without batting an eye? How could the aloof Lord of the Shadows have worn a homely apron and caringly prepared delicious waffles for her, placing a scoop of ice cream and fresh strawberries on top? She was failing to understand. My head hurts. Sunless, if that is our will, who dares to stop us?
The stage was set for the Lord of Shadows to make his entrance. As Sunny rose to his feet, he saw the daughters of Kai Sol and the soldiers behind them flinch. He smiled behind the visor of his helmet. Oh, but you might become orphans.
Sunny Shadow stepped into the battlefield and sat down in his shadow chair, watching Silent Stalker and a few saints grind their teeth, unable to do anything. Sunny remained sitting until the battle ended, never moving a muscle.
The darkness nestling in the eyes of Weaver's mask stirred slightly. Apparently it was extremely high, because there were 13 enemy saints moving to surround him in a wide half circle. he lowered his head slightly. 1, 2, 3. There were 13 enemy saints moving to surround him in a wide half circle. It was truly astounding. They were saints, and she was not just any saint at that. And yet, 7 saints were barely managing to contend against a completely unknown warrior. 13 saints. How ironic it was. The war to decide the fate of 2 worlds. The realm war could have been decided by the choice of a single man. Still holding the tip of his odachi to lonesome Howl's neck, Sunny stared at her through the eyes of Nephis mask. Silent Stalker was on the ground, 3 of his incarnations standing above her with weapons drawn and ready to strike. Lonesome Howl was on her knees at his mercy.
Open that shit up, yeah, my feet. Everybody came in out, but I call it fine. I'm feeling
And I am superior. I was forged from purer steel, and no matter how much power you gain, we'll never be equals.
And only someone like you can really think that I was born with nothing. Were you forged from pure steel and broken sword, too?
Naturally.
Is that why you had to make a deal with the green spawn? I guess your steel was not pure enough to defeat someone of his breed, yourself.
Death is just the shadow of life, said the goddess of life. And peace is just the failure of war. Have you ever been something that had not been stolen, made empty and vile? Have you ever done something that was not futile and hollow? Can you even exist without being cast by another? Look at how weak you are, how small you are. Am I supposed to be frightened of a small shadow? Made pale and feeble by the radiance of day, Shadow laughed and rose from the ground. As he did, his figure swallowed the land, devoured the heavens, and blotted out the light of the sun. Soon there was nothing left around them but darkness. And from that darkness, a hiss came, making life tremble. Life is just the prelude to death, and war is just the key to open its gates. Everything you cherish, everything you nurture, everything that starts with you will one day be mine, be welcomed by me, swallowed by me, and find peace within me. This is the mercy of shadow, hollow, futile. You might have come first, my sister, but when your cruelty ends, I will be all that remains. Rest in peace, Lord of Shadows.
Back on the fractured battlefield, the fearsome black mask trembled. A sudden chill spread across the battlefield, as if death itself had let out a frigid breath.
Those who possessed forms that resembled humans knelt. Those who possessed forms that resembled beasts lowered themselves to the surface of the water. All of them prostrated themselves before the young man, as if welcoming their lord, their monarch, their sovereign. For the first time, a clear emotion ignited in Anvil's eyes. Anger, reluctance, despair. He struggled to stand up, blood flowing down his mangled armor. You can't kill me. Nephis, she is the one. But in that moment between life and death, Nephis finally saw the path to supremacy. She knew what she had to do and what her will had to become. I have to survive. I have to die. That was his answer. It was so simple, but Sonny had remained blind to it for so long. Sonny had to die, but he could not allow himself to be killed. There was a trick to it all. At least there was for him. He was going to cheat his way to supremacy. That was his act of defiance. There's not a single person who cares whether I live or die. When I'm gone, no one will be sad. No one will even remember I existed. I am nobody. I have nothing. So let's change everything. It was because he had realized that currently he was more powerful than Nephis. What surprised him the most, however, was how weak of a reaction it aroused in him. There had been a time when becoming more powerful than Nephis was all he ever thought about. But now, he felt almost indifferent.
The last memory Cassie saw was of the mad saint climbing the statue of the night. She knew that he could have reached the top in one step, or turned to a crow to fly there. But for some reason, the Lord of Shadows chose to climb the great height of the beheaded Colossus like a mundane human, one handhold at a time. In the end, he sprawled on the severed neck of the statue and stared at the black sky with a detached expression on his pale, handsome face. That was where the memory ended.
The Lord of Shadows was not a hunter from the outer settlement. He wasn't from the bright castle either. He wasn't just a sleeper from the same year as them. He was someone who had accompanied Cassie and Nephis from their very first steps on the forgotten shore. The two of them had been the three of them all along. It was just that they had forgotten.
Against them, brave